magic is for.
Hi everyone, Tori here for another December daily page. Today I'm working on day 5 in my 2018 and 2019 album. I'm going to start with my 2018 album. I had a number of photos that I wanted to document from this day, so it takes up a few pages, but like I've said in my other videos, I'm not really worrying about how much space something takes up because these junk journals have lots of space. So on this day, I have some photos from work. I have some photos from painting pottery with friends. And then I have some screenshots from a conversation with my sister and mom. And so the first thing I'm going to do is just take my photos that I printed off with my Canon selfie and trim them out so that they are the size that I want them. And then I'm going to figure out how to put them in my album and arrange them in there. I kind of put the work ones and the ones where my mom and I had dinner after work together, and then I put the ones of me painting pottery with friends on another kind of spread, and then the conversation with my sister on a third spread, so that it kind of separated them a little, but they all will be December 5th, 2018, so it worked out well that way. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of try to decide how to lay them out. But while I'm doing that, why don't I read my journaling for the first kind of part here. Another day of filming. And I ended up using a Project Life card that said, in progress, working on it, making it happen, here are the details, because I felt like that kind of worked with a work kind of theme. And I just wrote, today was another day of work and another day of filming. We were able to finish early and grab an early dinner at Miva Me. We grabbed our favorites and a couple of cute Christmas-themed Diet Cokes. We had some time to chat while we waited, and we did some planning for future projects. It was great. So there's a photo on the left there of my mom in the filming studio. We were filming for a new course that we were publishing, and then some photos of my mom and I at the restaurant. And then they had these like really cute Diet Cokes that said like Santa and Mary, which I thought was really cute. And then that evening, I went back to Crockadoodle to try to finish my gingerbread, which I had worked on the day before, and some friends came and joined me, and they made some things too. So that was kind of fun. I got to continue working on my project, and then they made some fun Christmas-themed items. And then I knew that I wanted to use some journaling cards on this page too, so I found this one that said Enjoy Today, and I'm going to end up using that. And then I have another one that kind of looks like a tag. I use it there, and I'm going to do some journaling on there. And then the third spread, like I said, was some screenshots of my mom and a conversation with my little sister. And then I used a couple of journaling cards on that page too. So using my supplies, whether they're Christmas or not, is really fun. I mean, the supplies I'm using today definitely aren't Christmassy at all, but because I didn't bring a ton of Christmas supplies with me to Kenya, I have to make do with what I have. But I think it's like I've said on other days, it's a fun challenge to kind of like try to use your supplies in a new way, or maybe a way that they like weren't originally intended. So I wanted to see if I had any die cuts or anything that could work here. I ended up not using that snowflake, even though now looking at it, I think it looked really cute. I don't know. I kind of feel like on this day, I was struggling a little bit to decide where things should go. I don't know if you have days like that where you're just like, I don't know, should I do this? So I kind of jumped around a lot. That's why I'm like back on the third spread, and then I go back to the beginning, and then I go to the middle thing, and then I go back to this as I like try to figure out what I'm doing with my life on these pages and how I really want to scrapbook them and make them look. So I will end up keeping the spread on this one similar to how you had seen it before, with the one photo on the left on that like paper bag from the day before, and then the two photos of us at the restaurant at the top there. And then I also had this beautiful like Christmas tree that was at the restaurant that I stuck down there, and then I can put the Project Life card next to that to fill in that empty spot, and then that's where I'll do my journaling. I found a little label tag that said the wonders of winter, and I'm gonna just pop that down there at the bottom of that Christmas tree. And then instead of finishing that page, I moved on to the next page because I was like, I need to move on. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should stamp the date stamp. I don't know what I was doing this day. Like, honestly, I was just a little bit all over the place. So I'm really sorry if that bothers you, but like, honestly, trying to edit this and put it in some kind of semblance of order just would not have happened. So I moved on to the painting of pottery, and I thought about using some die cuts here, and I will. I ended up using this like house die cut, which I think came from Paige Evans, and then those two Project Life cards that I showed you before. I ended up trimming both of the Project Life cards down. The tag one, I kind of like fussy cut around the tag, and the other one I cut it down just to make it a little smaller so that it kind of flowed better with my page. I think that's kind of like a fun tip if you're going to use Project Life cards in your December daily or in regular scrapbooking to kind of like edit the size of them if you want to, or to kind of like do whatever you makes you happy while doing it. I feel like I do that a lot because it's like it kind of works, but it doesn't work. So, like the enjoy today, I like that phrase, but it was too big for that spot and I didn't want to cover that much of the photo. So, I ended up kind of just trimming it down around the enjoy today and kind of making my own little tag, if that makes sense. And I like the way that that worked out. And then I will end up adding journaling on both of those tags. And then, as you can see, I moved on to the third spread again. On the left-hand side, I decided to use a journaling card from, I believe, Allie Edwards that said, love this great little story. And I wanted to just add a little more red to that page, so I used a scrap piece of Snow and Cocoa paper behind it, and just to add a little bit more red. And then the photo collage will go on the right side with another journaling card that just had that similar kind of tone of red, but ends up being just a great journaling spot. I did let it hang off the page a little bit, and I'm okay with that. I don't think I was originally planning for it to hang off the page, but that's what it became. And you know what? It's okay that it hangs off a little bit. It's a junk journal. It's allowed to be a little like messy-ish, I think. Um, and then once I had stuck down all of the photos and journaling cards and spots, I decided to back that little house. I don't know if it was like meant to be a gingerbread house or what it was die cut, but I just felt like it kind of went with this idea of like painting a gingerbread house. So I'll end up backing that there. And I'm going to just skip ahead so you don't have to watch me back the whole thing. So I love the way it worked out. I just used little scraps to back it. So while I'm adhering that, let me tell you the journaling for this page. I was so exhausted after a long day of filming that I asked the girls in my Bible study if we could just hang out instead of do Bible study. So we headed to Crockadoodle and I kept working on my house. The girls painted ornaments, mugs, and gifts for the family. It was so nice to just be and to make and to spend time with friends. And I love the way that that page worked out. And then the last page that you're seeing now, where you can see like a little photo collage of my mom and I in the top, and then a screenshot of a text. So I'll read my journaling and it'll make sense what it says. So on the left, it just says, but one of my absolute favorite moments from today was my mom making her first story on Instagram. The best part, she didn't even realize she had done it. Seriously, it was so cute and so sweet. Even Courtney thought so too. I love our ensuing conversation. So the conversation on the screenshot, just like I had posted a picture of like, my mom just posted her first story ever. And then right after that, I'm like, just found out she actually meant to post it to her feed, not her story. She didn't even know what I meant when I said you posted a story. I think I love her even more. And then my sister had texted me and she's like, hee hee, I thought that I saw that and wondered if you taught her. And I'm like, nope, it was an accident. After I explained to her, as in my mom, she said, but how could that be a story? It's just one photo. That's not a story. And then my sister was laughing a lot, and I said to my mom, it disappears after 24 hours. And she said, I don't want it to disappear. Why will it disappear? And she just couldn't understand it. And then I finished with saying on the last journaling card, the thing is, my mom is brilliant, hardworking, and passionate, but she isn't always the most tech savvy. And that's okay. I love her and all her little quirks. She's the best mama a girl could ask for, and I'm glad we get to work together. And then I just added a few embellishments on each page, like some tiny phrase stickers. On this page, it just said everyday things, and I added the green puffy sticker number, and then I will add my journaling in that white space on that card there. And that's pretty much it for it. Oh, yeah, I also had a label underneath the photo of my mom on the left that just said another day of filming. And then on this spread, I added a gold puffy sticker heart next to enjoying today. And then I added an enamel dot to the house. And then on the last page, I also added a gold heart to the love card. And then some tiny little puffy sticker asterisks on that photo. And then a tiny phrase sticker that said, sorry, not sorry, on the last journaling card. And that's pretty much it. I think I missed filming the ending of this, so I'm sorry if you don't get to see it all, but I hope you guys still enjoyed this. All you miss is really me doing the journaling, so you're not missing that much because I told you what it said. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed checking that out. Next up, I will show you the 2019 album and what ends up happening there. So here's a quick peek at the finished layout for the fifth in my 2018 album. And I have gotten to the end of the first signature, and I'm realizing that this is going to be a very chunky album. I don't know yet if I have figured out how to not make my December dailies so big, or how to make a junk journal so it doesn't like explode. I don't know. But that's a story for another day. These ones are just going to be huge, and I don't know. If they fall apart and I have to re-sew them, then I can do that. But let's work on the 5th of December for this year. So I have a few photos. I have a photo from outside when it was sunset, a photo of me crafting. I went over to somebody's house for dinner, so I have some photos from that. And then I have a photo of me FaceTiming with my brother. And those are all the photos from the 5th. So I started by just trimming them out and getting them ready. And I decided to leave a white border around all of them. I just liked the way that that looked. And then I'm going to kind of like put them down on the spread. So in this album, I've actually already finished the first signature, so I'm moving on to the second one. And if you're not sure what a signature is, in a junk journal, that's like the little sections of paper. So I really wanted to use this polar bear die cut that I had cut out on my silhouette. I got him in the Silhouette store, and I was just kind of trying to figure out where that would go, and then kind of place my photos where I thought that they would look good. That's kind of the way that I've started every day, is like prep my photos, like trim them out, and then kind of decide where I want to put them down, and then add the journaling and the embellishments. So on this black and white paper there that has that really pretty lace trim, I'm going to add the sunset photo or the sunrise photo and the polar bear. And the polar bear is like this big empty space, so I figured I could stamp the date and do some journaling on there, and that's what would go on the polar bear. And it kind of fills in that extra space. So you have to kind of turn the page a little bit so it's sideways, but that doesn't really bother me that much. I feel like a junk journal is like just a creative playground where you're just trying to find fun places to document and make it happen. So I use my mega date stamp and stamp December 5th at the top of the polar bear, and then I will add some journaling there. And I'll just read the journaling to you. It just says, waking up in the morning, it's so very beautiful. And at night, as I go out to the Phasers' house for dinner, it's also beautiful. I love the sunsets and sunrises here, so I'm remembering to be thankful for this today. And then on the next page, I have the wooden or the wood grain paper on the left there. And then I also have that like gold foil Project Life card, which I believe came last December daily from Ali Edwards. And the gold foil just says, Christmas waves a magic hand over the world, and behold, everything is softened and more beautiful. It's a quote. And I put 2 photos there, a photo of my coffee cup and some tea. And then on the wood grain paper, I'm going to add a photo of me crafting. I was doing some ink blending with distress inks, and my fingers were covered in ink, and I just snapped a photo of that. And then I wanted to add a die cut there, and I had these snowflakes that were actually formed a whole wreath, but I had cut down the wreath. And that's from the 25 days of cut files from Paige Evans. So I just cut that down, and I'm just going to put like 4 snowflakes kind of around that photo of my hand there. And while I'm doing that, let me just read you the journaling for that page. So I'm so very thankful for days when I get to craft. Beautiful, fun days when I get to make a mess with stamping, blending, distress inks, and glitter and embossing. I did some more work on my Christmas cards today. The Phasers' parents are here for a few weeks from BC, and they're going to take my calendars and cards home with them. It was so nice to go to Christy and Jeremy's house for dinner. I love being in a family home with the kids, laughter, and noise. Sometimes something about it made me feel at home. So I went to their house for dinner, and my hands were covered in ink, so I thought it was kind of funny, and I thought I would include that. And then my favorite part of chatting was over the most delicious tea. Jeremy even gave me a box of this tea because he special ordered it, and he gave me a box, which was really sweet. And they collect all of those Starbucks mugs, and they actually had one that said Toronto, and it was like really sweet. So I was like, well, I have to use the Toronto one, even though I'm in Kenya. And then I also have this photo of my brother, and I decided to add some tiny word stickers. So I had one on the photo of my hand that just says favorite time of the day, and then on this photo of my brother and I FaceTiming, it just says #love this. And on the photo of my brother and I just wrote, I even got to spend some time FaceTiming with Josh as we chatted about life and work. We laughed and talked about life, work, and family. I'm so glad I can talk to him online. I'm so proud of him and the man and husband he is becoming. And I also wanted to add a word sticker onto the tea photo. So I had this like chipboard piece that said goodness. I added a gold puffy heart to the photo of crafting, and that's pretty much all the embellishing I did for that page. So I'm just going to wrap this up by showing you what the finished pages look like, and that's it for December 5th, 2019 in my junk journal. I hope you guys are enjoying this December daily series. I know it's taken a long time for me to put these videos out, but it's happening, and they will all eventually be out there. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to leave a comment, let me know what you think, and subscribe and like, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!